Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Genji. I don't yet know what rank this Genji is playing at. That was not shared. We'll probably be able to figure it out pretty easily or get close. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, all that good stuff. Hey Alice, been a while. I've been pretty well. What about yourself? So we're here. We're playing out on our Genji. We've got our Reinhardt Hog tank line, and our partner DPS is a Widow who took out the Ana but instantly went down. Still in our favor, no problem. Okay, so this is a problem. Using the deflect I'm fine with, but we've finished our deflect in a place where we're not safe. We're not safe, and the only way for us to quickly become safe is to spend our dash. We don't want to just like chill here, use our deflect, and then put ourselves in a situation where we have to use our dash if we want to have safety or risk getting eliminated. That's just silly. So well, you want to spend most of your dash time perhaps in a place where they can see you, where they'd shoot at you, preferably when they're already shooting at you or when they're already shooting in front of a Rhine that you maybe go in front of. You then want to finish your deflect in a place where you're behind or can quickly get behind cover. This is definitely not where we wanted to finish our deflect. We don't like letting our supports get heal charge either. Okay. I don't love that. I don't particularly love that. Stepping in front of your Rhine shield to deflect stuff is absolutely a thing, but you stepped in front of your Rhine shield into the other Rhine's swing range. And it's not like you were going to be able to have your team hard punish the Rhine if he took a swing at you. So we don't love that. Well, good, Alice. You know, sometimes taking a break, enjoying life can absolutely be worth the trade from playing a little less Overwatch, even if you have a little bit of a fall off. On the other hand, you tend to be a better sponge for absorbing stuff and learning new stuff and actually changing your play. Breaks, actually decent length breaks, can be pretty good for getting rid of a bunch of your habits that you don't know you have and let you more intentionally, and I'm talking longer breaks, and more intentionally then go, okay, now I'm going to play this with more consciousness of everything that I'm doing if you don't just let yourself drift into the same patterns. But anyway. Awesome. So I don't really want you just pushing up main here. I do want you playing angles. You can climb up over here and throw shurikens. Bus was okay. This is okay. This is okay. I don't want you just running it down main, though. You have other heroes that can do that on your team, and you do want more angles for your team. Hey, Manny! So this isn't amazing. No. Absolutely not.
I need healing.
Oh, am I in super rewind mode? Let's fix that. Okay, we'll roll this back a little. But you see how you're really shooting from the same angle as your team here? That's not great. And there's very little reason that you can't just go up here and throw shurikens from over here. Or go up here, hop, and throw shurikens from over here. Or pressure the Hanzo from over there, and then you can go back. Like, this would be better than throwing it down main like you are. Oh, totally get it, Alice. That's absolutely the way to go. It's absolutely the way to go. I'm happy to hear things I think are going a little... Yeah, I'm happy to hear that things are going a bit better there. So you guys are up, sort of. You're not up because you keep doing this trade thing. But I don't know what you're doing here. Again, you're throwing at the Rhine shield. We want to get past it. We want to get angled over it. That's what Genji does. There's no reason. You just hit the dash button. There's no reason to hit the dash here. A, you're only going to hit that BAP with one shuriken. One shuriken does not put that BAP remotely in lethal range. So you're about to dash into here where you're not going to take down the BAP quickly. It's not like, oh, the dash will finish the BAP. So you're not going to get your dash reset to get out. You're going to be stuck in the middle of the opposing team, where the Ana can easily hit you, where the Ana can easily heal the BAP, and your only defense will be deflect, which is a kind of mediocre defense. You want to look to use dashes as Genji when you're going to get the reset from the dash itself, or when after dashing in, you are very confident that in the next half second or so, you are going to get the elimination to get your dash back so that you can get out. That's when you're looking to use dashes, or when you dash, maybe you dash through someone and you end the dash here. So yes, you got dash damage, but you ended your dash in a safe place. This is not going to end your dash in a safe place. This is not even remotely likely to eliminate the BAP or even lead to the BAP being eliminated in the next second or two, and it puts you in a dangerous place. This is absolutely not how we want to use dash on Genji. You got slept. That's because you dashed in on a BAP that was basically full health. Hey Nordstrom, awesome. I will reach out to you about that right after this one to get that scheduled. That's awesome to hear though, Nordstrom. And I look forward to working with you. Okay.
The objective is mine. Be quick about it.
Your time.
Okay. Hopefully we're going to play angles a little bit more now. No, we're not. You don't need to be back here. Ugh. Angles. Angles. Could be over here. You'd like to have gotten to here and secured this when you had a small window, but that window is now gone.
Moving the payload. Join me. My ultimate is ready. Hello.
Gonna go take window, maybe? Window? Window? Oh, don't you send it up main.
My ultimate is ready.
Yeah, we don't know the rank, so we're gonna have to guess it. I mean, there weren't really replay codes, as you can imagine right now, many, because the patch literally just rolled over an hour or two ago. So, had to take what we could get, which meant something without a replay code, or without a rank. Okay. So, here you are.
My ultimate is ready.
Couple issues here. Your backline is back here. Maybe your Ana's gonna hit the nano on you. Maybe she is. But is your backline, or even really your front line, gonna contribute to this fight? You're pulling out your blade. That is going to cause the opponents to try to disengage pretty hard. Disengage pretty hard. But even if they didn't disengage hard, your blade territory is effectively this. Your team is over here. Your team is not contributing. There's this wall in the way. This wall. Your team is not contributing. They don't get to help you during your blade. So you basically have to blade in. Even if you get the nano, we'll call that you blading in 1.5 V4 here. With no real support from your team other than that nano, if you get the nano, which isn't an automatic here. So, that's not good. You want to pull out your blades. You want to do this. I don't mind you sort of being in deep for your blades, but I need you to be in deep when your team is actually in a place that they can support it. So if your team was here and the opponents were back here, no problem, because your teammates can still see and still contribute and can still shoot in anadarts and fair rockets and all this, but your team is over here. They're not going to be able to contribute, so all 4 of these people are going to get to contribute their resources to peeling you, and that actually creates a pretty decent chance that you won't get anything done. Now, if all 4 of them committed all of their resources, their bubbles, their sleep darts, their nades, their heal stations, their helix rockets to peeling you, and you didn't get eliminations, that actually wouldn't be the end of the world if your team was in a position to follow up, because then all of your teammates would have all of their cooldowns to win the fight against this cooldown exhausted team that had used all of their cooldowns to prevent you from getting blade eliminations. But that's not what would happen right now. What would happen right now is they'd be able to kite you, they'd be able to get their resources back, and then they'd be able to kite your team, they'd be able to get the resources back, and then they could engage back in. And if they peeled you that hard, they'd be pretty likely to get an elimination on you, and then they'd actually just engage and win against your team. So this isn't good. You need to blade when your team can help you. You have to. And your team can't help you right now. Okay. See how your team is, yes, I know the Reinhardt went deep, but see how your first teammate is just showing up around the corner to be able to contribute to this? That's exactly what I was talking about. Your team wasn't getting to help you during your blade, and that meant heal station, Zarya, sleep dart were all things that they could commit on you. And they're not really getting punished for that. Hunt the rank challenge accepted. What would you think about Genji having 4 shuriken bursts with each one doing slightly less damage, more damage overall? Do you think that would be big enough to help him? I mean, it could be. It would depend on how you tuned the shuriken damage and the shuriken spread, right? Because if you tuned it so that now people were regularly hitting 3 shurikens at close ranges instead of 2, that could, depending on breakpoints, be a really big deal for Genji. It really just depends on the numbers. So you could do it with 4 shurikens. You could also just change the numbers on 3 shurikens. But that seems to be something that they're resistant to doing, upping his neutral game. Maybe they'll be less resistant now since the last buff didn't really seem to work, and his ult game is weaker with the increased ult charge required. I'm also not really a fan of changes that betray things that people have spent hundreds of hours learning. So like making Genji throw 4 shurikens instead of 3 shurikens would change how you have to aim his shurikens at every distance. And I'm not really a fan of that because people have spent like hundreds of hours internalizing where they need to be aiming to get the most shurikens to hit something. So that I really would prefer they just play with numbers as opposed to do that. Okay. So here you are. I don't know why you think it's your job to push in front of your team here. You don't have dash. You didn't pop deflect. I don't know what you're doing. You as Genji don't get to be the team's front line. You don't go in front of your tanks. You play on angles. If you're in front of your tanks, it's because you're up here on an angle. It's because you're over here on an angle. It's because you're playing from this angle. It's because you're playing over here from this angle. You don't get to just be in front of your tanks on the main sight line. Because all the damage that is meant for your team will find you. And we don't like that. Even with deflect, that's not our favorite thing. We would much prefer to play angles.
I will not waste this chance.
Yeah, sounds like it crashed. That is a weird game though, Alice. Has to be related to the patch, but for me it just changed from, you know, the regular background or the event background to the regular background while I was staring at it, and it was like, okay, that's weird. So then I relaunched the game.
Minister.
Step rider.
Okay. No! No! You're not going to get an elimination off of anyone off of this dash. So now, no one on the opposing team is, in a place where a single shuriken or a double shuriken headshot will eliminate them, and you are stuck in the middle of the enemy team. Deflect is not some great defensive tools. There's ways around it. Plus, there's the Zarya beam. There's the Annonade. There's lots of ways to hurt you through deflect. You're stuck in the middle of the enemy team with 90 health. This is not at all what you wanted. You dashed yourself into danger, into the center of the enemy team. And that is absolutely not where you want to be. Like, your dashes have to finish you in places like here, where you have some degree of safety, or they have to get you an elimination, where you can then dash again to get out, or dash in, then dash out. Like, you cannot finish your dashes in danger like this unless you get a reset out of them. You can't. Your Genji will fail if you do that.
My ultimate is charging.
Clearing the area.
Leave. The window? It's late to be rotating here, but we're trying. Yeah. That's not the fault of the window. That's a peak timing and to not having deflect. The window is still right, I promise. Please don't take the wrong form of reinforcement from having gotten instantly obliterated through this window.
I will not falter.
Protect the payload.
I'm feeling unstoppable.
Stay on target.
Why?
Stay on target.
Why would you waste dash here? Just casually throw shurikens as you double jump forward. No! That's an 8-second cooldown. Why were you in such a rush to get in melee range of a Reinhardt? Left would be better. Fine. Cool.
My ultimate is charged.
Do you go take high ground on the left?
With me.
My ultimate is charged.
60 seconds remaining. My ultimate is ready.
My ultimate is ready.
My ultimate is ready.
Yujin no ken wo kure!
No.
My ultimate is ready.
My ultimate is ready.
So better than your last blade, and that your backline is in a place where they can contribute. Better than your last one. I totally grant you that. I would have preferred the more standard dash upwards here to make it easier for your Anna to hit you with the nano that she has, because I think she's going to struggle with that, because I think we're probably playing at about silver right now, based on what I'm seeing. So I really would have preferred you to do the dash up. That's going to make it a little easier on her. And it also covers, you see what's going to happen here as you spend time not really doing anything. Oh, she got the nano off. Nice. As you pull out your blade. So you really can't be doing anything while you're pulling out your blade like this. So you generally want to be up a little, because at least you falling gives you a little bit of movement, as opposed to you just being in the middle of the enemy team as you're pulling out the blade. You can like dash above sort of where you want to be, and then you're a little harder to hit with, say, this sleep dart that's coming your way when you're moving at a sort of diagonal to where your opponents are. That's much better than what you're doing right here. Back to this. Got the job done. Okay, where are you going to finish this deflect? You finish this deflect a little forward. You don't have cover. You didn't finish this deflect like right here, or even here, or even here. You finished this deflect up over like here-ish. Whatever. That's not what we want. That is not what we want, because now you can just get deleted. If these guys had higher level aim, they would just be like Anna-shot tap, soldier head shot. Oh, BAP shot. Absolutely reasonable. It would absolutely be reasonable for you to just get deleted here before you can get to cover.
What's your back?
I require healing.
I understand.
Enemy contact.
Bring it on! I live for this!
Oh yeah, high energy does sometimes look like nano.
Rocket barrage.
Okay.
I can just.
Oh, you pop deflect after she hits you, so the extra 5 damage or whatever took you down. I mean, do I want to go through that? Okay. You're here. You have all your cooldowns. Anna missed her sleep dart. You're down to less than half health. Use shuriken plus dash. You already need to have pop deflect. She's looking at you. The instant she's looking at you, you needed to pop deflect because you don't have any health, and you then need to sort of like edge her out to the health pack and beat her there. That's pretty much how this has to go. But whatever. And you used your dash to go in. And your dash to go in there was reasonable. Because you were effectively in an isolated duel, and you wanted to make it harder to hit you earlier. Nordstrom talking about the weird hodgepodge at 2.9, plat, diamond, gold, occasional masters. Probably only getting the occasional masters if you're playing tank at 2.9, because 2.9 tanks get placed all over the place because there aren't enough tanks, but you, I believe, are support? That's weird. Maybe some duo queuing going on? Okay. Zarya melts him in a second, half a second. No respect for the Zarya. Nonetheless, everyone else, that's absolutely true, and he's getting destroyed. Yeah.
Fire at will.
I get it. I understand why you wanted to dash at it. I do. But there wasn't any safety around. If you were closer and you dashed through it, and you got your dash damage and then threw shurikens from here, sure, no problem. You were here and you dashed through it and then finish your wall climb up to here and throw shurikens, no problem. But that's not what you're doing. That's not how you use dash.
60 seconds remaining.
I'm taking care of you.
My ultimate is charging.
Yeah, that makes sense, Nordstrom.
30 seconds remaining.
Systems at max.
Its conclusion. We must attack.
Remain getting there.
10 seconds.
I am on fire. Waleed Druidic. Systems rocket barrage incoming.
Okay. So, the biggest thing that we've seen is the dashes. The dashes into danger with no way out is by far the biggest thing we've seen. Other contenders are blading when our team isn't in a place to follow up, not finishing our deflects near cover, and what was I saying? Really not playing angles. So,
Initiating match.
lots to pick from here, but we'll hone in on what is going to be most helpful to this player as we keep going. In the meantime, do we have more guesses for the rank? I proposed a guess of silver, which I may want to adjust, but before I adjust, I'd like to give you guys a chance to make your guesses. It looks like Blah is saying so bronze, dashing into the mines. They're all private profiles, except for ones who haven't played their placement in this game. Okay, so Blah's done his sleuthing, and that didn't work for us.
我が心明鏡止水
Hello.
Top 500, rank 1.
Incoming.
I don't think that one's going to work, Enrique. Alice is guessing 1750. Ameni's thinking bronze because of angles and right click. Nordstrom's coming in at 2200. And Enrique is doubling down on that top 500 rank 1. Okay, and Nordstrom has subtracted 50 points, so 2150 now. Hey! There we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll have to ask the person in the replay then to answer the mystery for us. Okay, so did that. Oh, and you finished that deflect bind cover. That was better that you finished the deflect bind cover, but then you went after finishing it bind cover, you went right back out to throw more. That's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to go up here, potentially, to throw more if we were going to do something. We didn't want to repeak. We especially didn't want to repeak when, oh, you know, there's a Widow on that team. There's a Reinhardt in our face. We didn't want to repeak this. Little dicey. No, don't play here. Play left side. Again, you still want these off angles. You still want to potentially go like, I'm going to climb up on the statue and I'm going to enforce, or I'm going to throw over here. Yes, there's a Widow and that's scary, but you can go over here with your Zarya. You can go up on the statue and go here. We do want those off angles. They help quite a bit. Okay. This one was a much more reasonable dash. This is potentially the most reasonable dash that you've had. We see this happened. You see that McCree is down at about 100 life right now, and you're going to throw shurikens, trusting that at least one is going to hit, and you're going to dash. And then if you turn around and immediately do this and then melee, you've got him.
Cool like water.
Perfect. So that was better because you went for it when they were close enough that you could reasonably believe in the next half second or so you were going to get the elimination, which lets you use your new dash to get out. That's not really out. You're working your way out, but that wasn't really out. What was that deflect for?
Come on.
So, Reinhardt only has one thing that you can deflect, really. I suppose if you pop deflect, yes, he's not going to hurt you with his swings, but the only thing you can actually deflect from him is his Fire Strike, and his Fire Strike has a wind-up animation, so you can reactively deflect it. You don't need to pop this deflect at 150 health when the only thing looking at you here is a Reinhardt. You've just needlessly put your deflect on cooldown. No, absolutely not. Yes, you're winning this fight, so you're probably not going to be punished with this because your team is probably going to push up with you. But you see you've just put yourself in the middle of 3 opponents here while missing health, while you also don't have deflect as another way to help you get out. Like, these guys could take you down. Anna could sleep you. Anna could nade you. Lucio could boop you further into their team. Like, this is not okay because you do not have any belief that you're going to, your dash certainly didn't eliminate the Anna, and you don't have any belief that you're going to have the Anna eliminated in the next moment, so you have no way to preserve your life here. It's purely up to the opponents having bad aim right now. That's not okay. We can't put ourselves in situations where we're counting on the opponents to have bad aim. Okay. All good, man. All good. Everyone, everyone starts where they start, and you just find your way up. You get better if you want to get better. Well, you get better if you want to get better and you want to put the effort into getting better. It does generally have to be intentional. I don't particularly like this. You've been doing a lot of frontlining here. That's twice where you're just like, I'm going to go frontline over here. No, we don't want to frontline in front of our tanks like this. If we want to be close to the front of the battle, we do it at a different angle, like over here, where we have our cover at a different angle. They have to pick between shooting at us, who's ducking behind cover or not, or picking at our tanks. We're threatening them so that when their Reinhardt pushes forward, he picks this way, and then his shield doesn't work against us, or he picks this way, and his shield doesn't work against his team, or he just gets frozen here, so his shield works against both, but he can't advance against either of us, so we just get to chip him down forever. That's part of why we want our off angles. Better? Your deflects are getting a little better here. Maybe it was your first game of the day and you're getting a little more warm or something. Okay, and that was fine because you got your reset off of the dash. And it was fine because your dash put you in a relatively safe place. Your dash didn't leave you in a ton of danger. Your dash, well, okay, it didn't. It looked for a moment like your dash left you in a safe place, but, maybe not so much with this dash here. Still, a better dash, and you got your reset off of it. Did we just dash into a pinning Reinhardt? Nice, nice. That was fun. Okay.
My ultimate is charged. Attack with me.
You should be at peak performance level.
Yeah, this does look much more gold plat than what we were seeing in round one. There's still the fundamental dash misunderstanding, but that fundamental dash misunderstanding I've seen in plat Genjis before, so. I don't love it. It's not bad. I don't love it. The reason I don't love it is that, yes, this timing is okay. Yes, this is a place where your team can push up and follow up if they want, though your fair is pretty far back. The reason I don't particularly love it, though, is I'd actually like to soak these guys in a little more to burn a little more time off of the clock first. I'm not worried about these guys engaging on you and hard winning with the current ult tools that they have. Read none. Well, self-destruct and almost high noon. Okay, yes, beat. But, I'm not worried about them just wiping you, so I'd actually like to let them soak in a little bit harder, mostly just to drain time off the clock, because you are on defense here, but I'm definitely getting nitpicky. This is a better blade. This is a better blade as you just get bounced around 6 ways from Narnia. Here you are. I'm not sure who your target plan was, and that's actually a problem. So I say it's a better blade, but you do have to have something in mind that you're doing with it. So here's your up dash, and it looks like your up dash roughly has, so your up dash should have had these two in mind. These were the two that you should have had in mind to sort of fall onto, but it looks like for some reason you're looking this way or looking more this way, which is like, okay, Lucio. Lucio's not likely to be your first target, or Diva. Diva's definitely not your first target, and you can't get to the Ashe. So, or you could get to the Ashe, but you have to get to the Ashe using your fresh dash, and that would be bad because she's going to respond to your fresh Ashe with her coach weapon. And yes, if you have Nano, which you were probably expecting to have, you can potentially take her down before that happens because she'd have to be really on it to weave it properly. Like, those are basically the same time that they happen, your dash and your slash. But the obvious place to look was over here. You just didn't acquire your targets properly when you were up here and you fell down in the wrong direction. You really do have to mentally imprint. You have to look around and mentally imprint where everything is, because that's how you get your fast dashes between eliminations as well. So, yes, not sure, you would have expected the Nano here, but you shouldn't be looking at a Diva right now. You absolutely could have fallen over here instead, and with this bubble, even if you didn't get your nano, you could fall over here and take the Ana down with the first slash, the McCree down with the second. This could be great. Instead, you're having to run over here, they get the beat, you get booped, slept, and eliminated.
Let us hope for a different outcome.
Okay. Owie? Owie? No deflect? Yikes!
Verstanden.
Lucky there wasn't a headshot in there.
Stop the payload.
Agreed, Nordstrom. Agreed. And if we were talking about off angles right now, like over here would be an off angle. It would be like, hey, my team's shooting from here. Maybe I'm shooting from here. Maybe my team's shooting from here and I'm shooting from here. That's a less extreme off angle. This would be very dangerous to hold. This is relatively safe to hold. Yeah. Obviously, if we'd felt like it, we did have plenty of time to go see if we wanted to fight for this one or this one between fights. Huh.
I require healing.
Are you going to cart or are you getting out? No, no, it's one or the other. It's not duel this McCree. It's go to the cart or get out. No. No. I mean, at least they spent high noon for it, but they absolutely didn't have to. They could have gotten the picks on you guys without doing it. And this cart is moving. This cart was back here when I made my comment, when the fight was clearly lost, and now the cart is here. And now while you guys are coming back from spawn, they're going to get to push the cart up to here. If you'd gone to cart, they'd only be able to get the cart to here by the time you were back from spawn, or maybe like here. That's way better than it being up here. You see how they almost got like 1.5 fight wins for that fight win, or 2 fight wins? 1.5, 2 fight wins worth of cart distance as opposed to 1 fight wins worth of cart distance, because you let them get half a fight's worth of cart fight distance while in a fight that you'd already lost. No, can't do that. You have to go make sure that the cart isn't moving if you're still going to get eliminated in a lost fight, or you need to cut and run faster so that you guys can actually get out. You can't do this like, well, I'm going to try to trade out for one. Well, I'm going to try to trade out for one. Well, I'm going to try to trade out for one as you're backing up and they're getting cart distance. That's not an acceptable thing to do. No, no. Uzaria's here. Why did you feel the need to dash up here and touch? No.
I require shield.
You're going to be okay.
Go take high ground. Take high ground. Take high ground. Please go up here. Please go up here. If your team's winning, you can transition up to here. If they're not, you can play from here, or you can play from here, or here. Like, huh. Okay. I feel like this fight's over enough that that was probably a dash to cart, not a dash to whatever. I'll live. You might not, but I will.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
My ultimate is charging. I require healing.
Could be over here doing work. Could try to get control of this and then do work from up here. It would be amazing. You just climb up here, use your wall climb. You spread shurikens down there on Anna, on Kree, on Lucio, on Ryan, on Diva. None of them like that. None of them like that. And then they have to turn their head and go, oh, I don't like this Genji up here. And when they're looking at that Genji up there, you just close the angle. And while they're looking at you, your team gets to push into him. And because you'll pull multiple sets of eyeballs, by doing that, it's much easier for your front line to push in. And if you don't pull any eyeballs, well, you can very quickly chip down an Anna, Eliminator, a Lucio, Eliminator, him, like any of those things. The window's right there. The window. The window! Climb, 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 climb. Throw shurikens. No! No! Yes! Yes! No! This is not a thing! You here, tank here, on the main angle is not a thing. No. Wrong. Okay. I'm good. I'm good. The only justification for this is the little deflect shenanigans, which maybe that's what you're going to do, but the deflect shenanigans really aren't as good as off angles.
Heroes never die.
Why did you reload though? You have 18 shots left. Why are you reloading here? There's still a diva that was perfectly good to shoot at. Yeah. You do press that button pretty compulsively, don't you? Someone said that in chat earlier. Nordstrom. Yeah, good catch, Nordstrom. Genji's reload is subtle enough. Probably not. You're already using grab. You don't have a great nano target besides you. Probably don't blade into this. Probably just the grab and try to nano blade next fight. And if you lose the fight with grab, so be it. They're gonna use an ult like barrier for the grab, and then you win next fight with nano blade, and you do get another fight. Oh boy. Mm-hmm.
Again.
Much obliged.
60 seconds remaining.
Why are you here? What, like, this is a little bit of an off angle, but why here as opposed to, oh, say here, or just chill up here, or up here? These are all so much better than, this is a little better than you just being here, but use the off angles. I promise they're really good. Yeah. They get to shoot at you, and if they miss you, the team's behind you. Or they shoot at the team, and if they happen to miss the team, they hit you. You want their attention pulled in multiple directions. It's way more powerful. And it lets you threaten around shields, you or your team, and it makes their shield compromised, and it makes it so their evasive movement isn't as good. This is over.
Rocket barrage incoming. This is not your time. Nerf this. Heroes never die.
Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay. Let's get ourselves a Genji screen. Okay, so when it comes to your Genji, there's two things I want you to work on, two specific things, and I want you to pick one, work on it, use like 10, 15% of your brain power while playing your next 5, 10, 15, 30, however many matches it takes until it sort of becomes ingrained into you as part of your autopilot. And that first thing is the usual Genji thing, which is your dashes do have to get you resets. Your dashes have to either the dash itself gets you the reset, or when you go for that dash, you are going to know that I am very, very confident that in the next half second I will get an elimination on this hero. And that's factoring in that they might receive healing, how likely they are to receive healing. And the reason I say half second is if it goes longer than half a second, they're almost certainly going to get healing, right? Because like their supports will show up, etc. So it's got to get you the reset, or the dash has to end you in a safe place. And you can dash for damage and still end up in a safe place. You dash through something and end up here, that's a reasonably safe place, that's fine. So that is something that I want you to do. I want you to just sort of internalize that unless you're caught up in like an isolated duel with someone, in which case you're dashing to close distance so they're not getting extra poke on you, etc., you just can't go in and you're stuck in the duel. If you're not stuck in the duel, or if you've got a team fight going on, you don't dash to close in on them. You just go, oh, I'll use cover, and I'll keep chipping shurikens from different places, from weird angles, etc., which is the second point that we will get to. So your dashes have to get you resets, or they have to finish in places that are safe. They really do. It's really important. The next thing that I'm going to ask you to work on is I do want you playing these off angles more often. Play this off angle. Play this off angle. Play this off angle. Play this off angle. Oh, your team's pushing through here? That's great. Play this off angle. Genji has this cool wall climb ability where he gets to go, oh, hey, I go up here, and now I chip shurikens from here. And even though you don't do a ton of damage, your mere presence and your ability to duck behind cover, use the high ground as the cover, will pull eyeballs to you that makes it way easier for your team to push, or if they don't pay attention to you, you'll just farm all the blade charge in the world, you'll get people really low, and then you'll dash in, get the elimination, dash out, or dash in, get the elimination, dash back out, dash in, dash out, etc. Like, that's what you're looking to do with Genji. Work on those two things, work on them one at a time, make them your mental focuses, and build them in there as new habits in how you play the hero, so that they're just automatic, so that you then free up that brain space to either think more tactically or to work on the next thing that you want to improve on. But for now, I want you to actively use the brain space to focus on those two things one at a time. If you have questions, go ahead and throw them up in chat now. If you guys are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, events we have going on. Or if you are just enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe. That really helps me out, and I really do appreciate it quite a bit. So I'm going to give it a second for questions here. Thanks so much. Not a question, but we'll take it. Okay, looks like that's going to do it. I am going to call it here. I'll try to do one more of these tonight. I'm probably going to be light on videos today, and I may be a little light for much of the rest of this week just because we have playoff stuff going on. I have other stuff going on. It might be a little light of a week, but starting next week, I should be back to the relatively full schedule of content production, including a bit of a surprise with what's happening there. So a bit of a, special video, we'll call it. Okay. And that's going to do it. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.